So as you continue looking at the blue zone people, the blue people, they're not Smurfs, so we're not going to call them blue, okay? But as you continue looking at what the blue zone people did, okay, and how they manage their life and manage their wellness from a physical, mental, and emotional standpoint, you are going to notice things that they do that are everyday things, also known as habits, okay? And if you can diagnose your habits, okay, you can then make it an accurate depiction or a program or routine to change them. A lot of times we find ourselves in the trenches and doing something we know that isn't benefiting our health and wellness. It's not helping our physical wellness. It's not helping our mental wellness or emotional wellness. Right? So that right there, that one is open, and then we have this one right here in the middle is blue. Yep, blue. Okay. So we don't have the ability to maybe help our health and wellness through diagnosing that or changing them if we don't diagnose them. You're doing a little bit of that with the blue zone people, the blue people. All right. You're trying to diagnose their secrets, their habits. Okay. And there's a couple of things that I want you to know today as we continue building our foundation of what those habits are and how we can get ourselves to those habits. Okay. So it first starts, okay, guys, with a hook. Okay. If you have any habit, you are hooked into doing something, right? There's something that gets you in a bye. You want to get rid of the bad habits. That's the point. Okay. We want to get rid of the bad habits and be hooked on the good things that help your health and wellness. So there's some sort of trigger. There's some sort of thing that makes you want to say, I want to do this. That's why a smoker makes it very hard for them to quit smoking because they're just addicted to it. They have a hook. They have it ingrained in their system that they can't be let go from smoking or choosing that substance. Okay. So a lot of times our habits are based on us being hooked onto something. When you take your jacket off, you put it on a hook because you know it's going to stay there. It's not a very good hook if it keeps falling down, right? And so that hook, that habit is going to keep you connected, keep your self up and moving for your wellness moving forward. But then you have a lot of things in your life that are automatic, right? Like you all came in here wearing shoes, I see. I mean, that's a good thing. I would not want you to walk barefoot. It's not going to be good, okay? Unless you want to like step on something that might, cause a cut or something like that. You put on your shoes. Did any of you happen to think about which shoe you're going to put on first this morning? Like, did you take time to really deliberate and say, all right, left shoe or right shoe? Left shoe. You just put it on, I'm assuming. I don't want to assume, but I'm assuming you just put it on. You didn't have to think twice about it. You put on maybe your right shoe before your left shoe, or you put on your left shoe before your right shoe. You just automatically did it because it was an ingrained probably habit that you have in your life, that you've done for thousands of times over the course of your lifetime. Okay. You also probably didn't have to think about, do I double tie my laces? Do I single tie them? Do I tuck them underneath, the laces? Do I tuck them behind, the tongue of the shoe? Like you didn't think about those things. You just did it because it's ingrained in your head. So a lot of our habits, guys, are automatic. Duke actually did a study a number of years ago about habits, and they found that 45% of your daily habits are automatic. They're automatic behaviors. You don't think twice about them. You just do them. Okay, it's like brushing your teeth. You don't really have to think about it. You just do it because you know that's what you do in the morning. Or you wash your face, or you wash your hair, or you put deodorant on. You know you just have to do that. That's not something you have to spend time thinking about and having a debate with yourself on. It's automatic. So many of our habits are automatic. That can be a good thing, okay, if it's promoting your health and wellness, or it could be a not so good thing if it's tearing you down a little bit, if it's a negative behavior. So many habits are automatic. And the reason why many of your habits for your life are automatic is your brain is kind of important, wants to save energy. Okay, so if your phone goes low on battery, what do you guys do? Plug it in, but you don't have the ability to plug it in or charge it. What's something you can do? Turn it off. You could turn it off, but can you turn your brain off? No. So do any of you ever go to your settings and go like low battery mode? Yeah, so what low battery mode is trying to do is say, I want to run my phone, I want to be able to do all the apps or play the games I want to play on it, but I don't want it to run maybe as efficiently, so that way the battery extends itself longer. I have more life in it. Your brain is doing that, okay? Your brain makes up roughly 2% of mass in your body, just small, 2%, not a lot, but it takes up and consumes roughly 25% of the oxygen your body is taking in. That's a lot for a little. Okay, now your brain is pretty important, so I'm not going to argue that. But that's a lot of oxygen. 25% of your body's oxygen going to your brain's functioning, your brain's use. So what your brain is saying is, I want to spend less time having to figure out all these habits and all these decisions and all these processes. I want you to just do them automatically. I don't want you to have to think about, am I going to go take this stress anxiety on today? Or am I going to go for the run? Or am I going to do my business for my health and wellness? It just wants to go on autopilot sometimes. So that way it can conserve its energy and actually do its job for the big things in life. When you got to make some really hard decisions, when you got to act and think and problem solve in a great number of ways. So your brain's trying to conserve some energy. And as you will find out later this semester, when we talk about muscles and movement, your muscles rely on the oxygen to replenish and recover it. So that way it can run, it can continue to jump, it can continue to walk, it can continue to move without feeling so worn down and fatigued. So if your body's not getting the oxygen, okay, your muscles aren't getting the oxygen, you aren't able to be at your best. So your body's trying to save some of that oxygen for your muscles, not consume it with the brain. So habits allow your body, your muscles to actually move better, all right? 3 R's here for your habits, as you will learn from the Blue Zone people. Set a reminder. There has to be some sort of reminder, some sort of trigger, some sort of cue that says, do this. Put your right shoe on and then your left shoe. There has to be. There has to be something that kind of ignites the brain, light bulb, flash, hello, and then this is what you do. Just like when you wake up, you probably go to the bathroom, you maybe go brush your teeth, you do some things like that are automatic reminders, okay? Maybe you need to use your phone to help set up some of those reminders at the beginning. Use the reminding app on your phone to say, hey, at 2:45, this is when I do this, or at 4:30, this is when I will practice some mindfulness and I'll get away from the crazy things in life. So use that. And then once you have a reminder, something that triggers you to do something, now you have a set routine. That's the second R. Routines are boring. I get it. It's not fun maybe for some people to go through routines. Like, okay, I wake up and I want to go for a run. I have my shoes laid out, my clothes laid out, and then I put on those clothes in the morning, and then I put on my right shoe, then my left shoe, then I do my stretching, and then I foam rolling, and then I go run. Let's have my music ready to go. Then I come in, and then I cool down, and then I take a shower, and then there's my running routine. Like, it's boring to sometimes live in routines. I get that. But if you're going to be successful, if you're going to be living a life of health and wellness, routines are good. Routines are very good. And then you have your reward. So your reward can be something that you physically get, like, hey, I'm going to watch an extra show on Netflix this weekend, or I'm going to go get that snack that I really am craving. Or in terms of a run, the reward is I'm healthier. My heart is working better. My body and my muscles are stronger. So you're going to get a reward when you make sure your habits are positive. Your habits are good. There's a reward for it. Now, you might hear some people say, well, how many days does it take to build in a good, successful habit? You might hear 30, you might hear 60, you might hear 100, you might hear 1,000 reps. All those numbers are fine and dandy, but here's the deal. Every single person here is different. So for you to find your habit line, the line where you officially have that ingrained in your system, if you will, it takes behavior that is automatic, done over and over and over again. It's just a part of who you are. And then there's a high number of reps that occur, meaning the number of times that you go do that thing, whether it be running, whether it be washing your clothes a certain way, or putting on your right shoe before your left shoe. It has to be done a high number of times before this habit line can be reached. For some of you, it might be here. For others, it might be way up here. For others, it might be lower. I don't know where that is for you. All I do know is it takes consistent behaviors and it takes a high number of reps over and over and over again. You can't ingrain a habit for your life to be successful or to live a healthy and well life by doing it 1 day out of the week. You can't do it 2 days out of the week. You can't even do it 1 month out of the year, and that's it. It has to be consistent if you're going to find that habit and make it ingrained in your life. Okay, you got to have that. Question for you: what are habits of healthy people? Give me your responses. And you text it in or put it on the poll. Okay, what are habits of quote unquote healthy people? Okay, in your opinion, whatever you perceive to be healthy, what do you think habits of those people are? Maybe it's from a physical wellness standpoint, things that they do for their body, maybe what they eat, or maybe it's something from a mental wellness perspective of how they take care of their stress, anxiety levels, or it could be an emotional wellness perspective. How do they handle their emotions? How do they regulate it better? What are some of the things that they do or that you notice? okay, from a health perspective, from a wellness perspective. What are the things that they do that are good habits? And habits, something they don't have to think about, they don't have to process, they just do it. Yeah, so they work out, so they consistently exercise. Positive affirmations, yeah, they're probably telling themselves good things about themselves. I am strong, I am confident, I'm a good friend. 8+ hours of sleep, yeah, that's a good habit. Healthy people probably don't think about this too often. They just go to bed at a certain time and wake up at a certain time because then they know they're going to get their consistent hours of sleep. Being active, eating good sources of fruit, veggies, protein, yeah. That's a habit that a healthy person has. They don't think about, okay, do I have enough veggies today? They just do it. They just eat these certain vegetables. They go get the certain vegetables. They go research the certain foods that they could have because they just make it a habit of eating those things. It's not a rare occasion. Drinking water, I love that. Okay, maybe that was Roberto drinking water over there. Okay, a healthy person doesn't think about it. They just drink their water. They know that's what they do on a daily basis. Discipline, yes, they have habits of discipline, sticking to their behaviors. I like that. Okay, you're seeing good things up here. You guys are having good thoughts. Why is it important to have the ability to see these habits? Why is it important to know the habits that these people are going through? What do you think? And Gabriel, why do you think it's important to look at these habits, to take a look at these habits? Why is it important to know them?
Make improvements in your own life?
Yeah, exactly right. If you don't acknowledge what the habits of good, successful, healthy people do, you're never going to be able to make the change in your own life. If you don't look at this list here, and the reason I want you to be able to see it, eat veg. Eat veg. I like it. If you don't see the habits that these people have, that you think healthy people have, then how are you going to make the changes in your own life? Because then you're just going to be on a treadmill like a rat going around and around and around and around, never making any changes. Okay? Going to the bathroom would be hey, you drink enough water, going to the bathroom will be an ingrained habit in your life, if you know what I mean. Yeah, journaling, I like that. So it's important to recognize these habits because then you know, hey, this is what the best of the best do. Maybe this is what I should start trying to do and habits I should start putting in my life and in my head, okay? You need to think about them. Last thought I want from you before you do some work here on habits and looking at habits is what makes habits, bad habits, so stinking hard to break? Okay, what makes them so hard to break? Sorry. What makes them hard to break? What makes a bad habit? Dakota? What makes bad habits hard to break? What do you think? What makes a bad habit so hard to break? Like this guy, it's hard to see, but he's taking a hammer to his phone and he's trying to break it, and it's just like impenetrable. Like it's not breaking whatsoever. It's easy to stick to the bad habit because it's a habit. It's something you've been ingrained to do. Oh, so what do you think why is making a bad habit go away tough to do? You do. You like it. Let's be honest. We like eating some of the foods we eat. We like chilling and relaxing on the weekend and not going for that run. We like those habits. They comfort us a little bit. Okay? They don't maybe challenge us and make us have to work a little bit. We do like it. That makes it tough to break. I played college baseball, and one of the toughest things to do in sports is hit a baseball. One of the toughest things you can do. If one thing is off, if I form a bad habit with what I do with my chin or my eyes or my shoulders or where my foot goes or how I shift my weight, if I start creating a bad habit with my baseball swing, it is so hard to get out of. It was incredibly hard, and it's incredibly frustrating, okay? Tough to break. But here's the deal. I don't want to be so negative and say bad habits for health and wellness, don't do them. I want you to start thinking about how can we replace the bad habits by forming good habits. Let's not spend time saying, okay, bad habits, let me get rid of them. Let's spend time actually forming the good habits that help your life, that help your health and wellness move forward, okay? So last thought I have for you is are your habits, the things that you do on a daily basis, on par or equal to the dreams you have for your tomorrow? So if you say, I want to live to be 103, I want to be able to look a certain way, I want to be able to have a certain physique, or I want to have a certain amount of money in my bank account, do your daily habits equal that? Or are you saying, I want to live to 103, but my daily habits are I eat processed foods, I never go out to run, I never exercise, I constantly put myself in stressful situations? Like, you would then say, I would then look at you and say, your habits are saying that you want to live to be 50, not 103. So are your habits, the things that you do daily, on par? Are they equal to the dreams you have for your health and wellness and your life? Don't forget about your life. Your life is a little more important. Your life on par. Are they equal? Because if there's a disparity, then we got to do some work. But we want to make them equal. I want your dreams to equal the habits that you do on a daily basis. Okay? They have to.